Hiya, today I'm here to talk to you about how to calm your anxiety response when you're in the middle of panicking. Before I do that, I just want to talk about what is extreme anxiety, moderate anxiety, and more kind of minimal anxiety, just so you understand. So at the extreme end of anxiety, you can experience what's called a dissociative state. Dissociative state. And that's where you are so anxious that you won't even recognize your own reflection in the mirror. You may not recognize friends and remember any good times or memories with them. You're really disassociated from yourself. And for that, you need some on-the-spot clinical help, would be my suggestion. For more moderate responses, that's where you would be having heart palpitations, you might have some chest pains, struggle to breathe. You may feel some numbness in your extremities, and you may feel you're having a panic attack. Now, it doesn't feel moderate at the time, and I appreciate that, but compared to the dissociative state, it is more moderate. And then finally, you have the more everyday anxiety where you might be feeling really overwhelmed, struggling to cope. You might be feeling very tearful or angry. You may be experiencing panic attacks occasionally as well, and you might have unexplained aches and pains. And what's really great is that these techniques I'm going to share with you today help to calm the physical response in your body, okay? And when we do that, we are also helping to re-engage the logical part of your brain. Anxiety is fear, and so it's engaging the emotional part of your brain. It is triggering your adrenal glands, your cortisol levels, your vagus nerve, and it's getting ready either to run away or to fight or to hide or to go and find someone who you think will look after you. So what we want to do with these strategies is, by practicing them, helping your brain to become re-engage the logical side of your brain again, and then feel calmer. Okay, so the first game is called the random numbers game, and it is what it says. You count out loud if possible, in random numbers. If you cannot count out loud, that's okay. You can count in your head, but there is something about the sound of your voice as you're counting that will enforce and, well, reinforce the logicalness of what you're doing. Okay, so it literally goes 1 billion, 300, 2, 699, 45, 76, 200, 190, 999. You get the idea, right? It's a quick and easy one to do. You can do it in your head if you're in a meeting and you're feeling nervous about standing up and speaking. It's a great one to do. Okay. A second one is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 game. Now, this basically utilizes your senses, okay, your 5 senses of sight, touch, sound, taste, and smell. And it brings you back to the present moment. So it's 5 things you can see. So I can see my mug, my vitamins, my crystal tree, my laptop, and a sign, okay? 4 things that I can touch. I can touch my laptop, my phone, a book, my corkboard, and the windowsill in front of me. 3 things that I can hear. I just heard a siren go past. I can hear bird song, and I can hear the fan of my laptop. Okay. 2 things that I can smell. I can smell the coffee from my cup, and I can smell my own perfume. So that's 2 things. And finally, 1 thing that you can taste, and that for me is coffee. So that's the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 game, and it brings you back very much into the present moment, and it takes you away from what if and what's coming and the unknown. Okay. If you are someone who experiences their anxiety very physically, and you're fidgeting and unable to sit and unable to just kind of center yourself, you know, and trying to do some deep breathing, and it's just not working. And I find this works really, really well with people who are very physically active, who are dancers, who are creatives as well, this particular technique. and it is dancing like a mad person to really loud music. And the reason this one works is because the movement helps to reduce the tension in your muscles. It helps burn adrenaline as well. And so what happens is your physical response is really being calmed right down. The other half of this is to start yelling, right? And it's that yell that comes up from the tummy, up through the chest and out through the mouth. It's that yell of frustration, that yell of rage, that can be very powerful as well. Now, obviously, it's not always possible to play music really loudly and jump around and scream and shout. And so in that instance, I'm going to recommend that you stop punching pillows, not people, not walls, but pillows. You'll be surprised at how much rage kind of comes pouring out of you. First couple of times you might feel a little bit self-conscious, but I promise you, if you keep hitting it, just imagine the thing that's annoying you or making you feel anxious. That rage will come pouring out, and before you know it, that poor pillow will be as flat as a pancake. And then the final tip I'm going to give you, which brings you back again to the present moment, is counting shades of green. Now, green is very calming to the mind. Counting, we know, re-engages the logical mind. So if I look out of my window, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 shades of green just by looking out of my window. In the studio I work in, which is indoors, there's 11 shades of green. So just think, if you can start doing that, and just by the act of looking around, you're engaging a logical mind, and you're also being very present in your environment. So those are my 4 tips to help you calm your anxiety in the moment and to soothe yourself and reduce your physical reaction to your anxiety. If you have any tips that have worked for you, please put them under the comments, and let's share it so that more and more people can feel soothed and happy and engaged.